Okay, today we're going to go ahead and put together this MAXTRA electric scooter that comes with a seat. So I already went ahead and took everything out of the box, and this is essentially how it came. So we've got the scooter, it looks like it's mostly assembled. Here's our seat. We've got the box in here with the charger port, the wheel that we're going to put on, and then they've given us some tools that we can use in case you don't have your own tools. And we'll go ahead and use the tools that they gave us. The only thing that I'm going to need with my own tools right now is off these zip ties. Okay, so this is gonna go for the seat. We have an individual pole, and this looks like it's the handlebars. First step, according to the instructions on how to assemble this, and just so you know, those of you at home, you're gonna find the instructions in the owner's manual. They're not gonna come separate. So as you go through the owner's manual, if you find page 7, that's gonna go ahead and give you the assembly instructions. And the first thing it wants us to do, so go ahead and assemble the wheel to the fork. That. So what we need to do here is we're just going to go ahead and unscrew that bolt. We're going to place the wheel, this little holder, and then we're just going to feed this bolt through. So you want to make sure that it's lined up. Play with it a little bit to get it through, and there it goes. And then once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and reassemble the nut.
I'm just watching you guys.
So I'm going to go ahead and take out the tools that they've given me. They've even given us a little screwdriver that I guess we could use if we're going to need one, but there's a screwdriver. What I'm going to need right now is the Allen key, or this little Allen wrench here. I'm going to put that in there. That's not the right size. We'll go one size bigger, and that's the one. And then I'll go ahead and take this wrench. What I can do is place the wrench right over that nut to hold it in place as I spin it around until it's tight. So if you can see right there, I'm just using the wrench they gave me to hold that nut in place, and taking this Allen key and just spinning it around until we get it nice and tight. And that's tight right there. So just like that, we've gone ahead and assembled the wheel. Okay, so we got the wheel on pretty easy. The next step, according to the instructions, is to get the handlebars assembled. What it asks you to do is go ahead and push on this lever right here. So it should be locked, and it is locked. But if I squeeze this lever down, pull it down just like that, and now I can go ahead and lift it up into the position. And it seems that that's locked right there. And I've got the kickstand on to hold it for me. Go ahead and move this piece here. I'll reattach my Velcro. I'm going to need that later, I think. So here are the handlebars. Again, according to the instructions, if you see here, it's going to get locked up right there, right? That's because they've already got this hex nut in. So all you have to do is unscrew this hex nut. And you'll go ahead and put the handlebars up and slide it back through. Just Kind of make sure it's lined up there. Just a little bit off. There we go. Okay, and then once I've gotten that through, I'm going to go ahead and reassemble the hex nut. Nice and tight. Okay, so then this is our front of the wheel here. Got this little clamp here. I'm gonna line this up. And let me just make sure I'm on the right. And maybe this is the way we want it. Nope. You're gonna want the brake on the outside, right? Okay. So this would be front. And then what I've got to do now is I'm going to go ahead and push in a little ball there. And now I've got it locked in. We're going to tighten up this clamp. And then we can just squeeze it over. It's adjusted, now our steering's right. And now the steering wheel is assembled. So we'll go ahead and start moving to the seat. I'm going to go ahead and refer back to my instructions on page 7, and it's saying to insert the seat into the space, insert the seat lever into the space under the seat, tighten the screws on both sides. So here I have the seat lever. Let me just insert that into the seat. Now we can see it's not a fit, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and loosen up these screws. I'm going to go ahead and loosen on both sides there. Okay. And I don't have to take it all the way off, guys. We're just gonna keep it loose. So we have a couple threads on there. And now it slides in real nice and easy. And so if the seat's gonna fit in just like that, then I know that's where I want it to be. So what I'm gonna do before I do that is I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these screws back up. I'm gonna tighten them on both sides, and I'm just using the tools they gave me. It's there. Okay. And I don't have to take it all the way off, guys. We're just gonna keep it loose. So we have a couple threads on there. And now it slides in real nice and easy. And so if the seat's gonna fit in just like that, then I know that's where I want it to be. So what I'm gonna do before I do that is I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these screws back up. I'm gonna tighten them on both sides, and I'm just using the tools they gave me. Go to the other side. Tighten that up as well. Okay. It doesn't have to be too tight, just as long as it's on there. And tight. We've got this clamp here as well. I'm gonna go ahead and set this in first, and we're gonna adjust our clamp so it's even, and we can just push in that little ball joint and pop it in. At this point, we make sure that everything is tight on these clamps, so I'm gonna tighten up the clamp again. Once I've got it pretty good and tight, you don't want to over tighten it, because remember that it's this lever that's going to do that final tightening for you. So if you end up getting to a point where you can't pull that lever down, you probably just over tighten this. So you just want it tight, but you still want to be able to pull that lever down. You'll see that on this side too. So I'm going to tighten it up. Again, if I over tighten it, I'm not going to be able to pull this lever down. It's going to be too tight, and you can end up breaking that piece. So you don't want to do that. You just want to get it nice and snug, and then you can go ahead and use this clamp to pull it down, and now the seat is nice and tight. Now if I see here, I feel like, oh, it's got a little bit of wiggle room, and I want it a little bit tighter, I can give it another spin, and then come back again. Again, you don't want to force it, because you can break these pieces. And now it's nice and snug. It's just fine. So at this point, everything is assembled. We've got the wheel on, we've got the handlebars on. You've got this wire sticking out. You don't want to trip on that. So you have these Velcro pieces here that you can use. Go and hold this this wire to your bike. So you're just gonna put it around, snug it in. Do the same thing here. And that'll just secure that to your steering column. Now it looks like it's ready to go. Got some styrofoam there, but we can clean that up in a second. If you look down here, you've got your on button, and if I turn it on, it looks like we've got a little bit of a charge, but most likely we probably want to get a full battery charge before we start messing with it, unless you just want to test it out and make sure that it's working. Yep, it works. So what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to go and turn it off, and I'm going to plug it in. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get it charged. Now if I take my AC adapter, plug it in, and so we have a green indicator light. So that green would mean it's fully charged. Now it's not plugged in. So once I plug it in, what we should see is that it's going to turn to red. And I'm going to go ahead and put it into that charging port. And yeah, as soon as I did, that red indicator light comes on. And what we're seeing here is it says red is charging, green is charged. So we can leave this on, and when this light turns green, we know that we're done charging, and essentially it's ready to ride.